who's an innovator in this space and, would contribute to the conversation?
Good question. Look, definitely see if you can get hold of Aaron McDonald and Shara Senderoff from Futureverse. We recently took part in a $54 million funding round with them, but they're building a AI metaverse, and they've built a root network. It uses XRP as a gas token. It's integrated with the XRP ledger. They're minting NFTs on the XRP ledger. For example, they recently minted a whole host of NFTs for FIFA.
Hey, everybody. It's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. And that intro was a clip that I took from a video that I just love. It was uploaded on the 1st of September, and it was on the QuickNode channel. They have a YouTube channel, and that was Jas Takar. He's the head of engineering at Ripple's development arm, Ripple X. And QuickNode just added XRP Ledger to their suite of blockchain APIs. In a nutshell, they added XRP in June to help builders build on the XRP Ledger. That's an interesting company. They've been around since 2017. Pompliano, Michael Arrington, those are just some of the investors that have brought that business to fruition. I had Aaron McDonald on the channel, and yes, their metaverse build is just massive. The minting of the NFTs on the XRP ledger came as a surprise, but one of the most reliable sources, bar none, is onledger.net. And he did find that they are minting. Not 100% sure, he says, if duplicated across both, but they certainly are being issued on the XRP ledger through their account. And he brings us to the transaction summary where it shows that NFT World Cup FIFA address. Well done, OnLedger. The suspense is building. Attorney John Deaton was asked by Jungle, which would be Jungle Inc., for 3 hints to what his big announcement is in the next 24 hours. We received this photo, which, if I remember correctly, this is just after Christmas when the SEC took the enforcement action against Ripple and he was going through the paperwork. And then he gives us clue number 2, which is XRP Ledger, and clue number 3, which is the Ethereum ICO. Gosh, I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with Steven Nareyoff. I don't know. We have a stay tuned on a post from Steven where he talks about he wishes he could have been here earlier. He really wants to tell us the details of what has happened to him. The SEC, the Department of Justice, and the FBI, I guess, were involved in trying to imprison him. I think this whole thing's going to really bust open wide, and I think we're going to be quite surprised by everything. Moving right along, I'm not going to make you suffer through the entire Gensler response to a Bloomberg question, but I will play the portion that sparked this comment from the chief legal officer of Ripple, Stu Alderati, where he says the SEC chair admits Stu Alderati reacted to the SEC chair Gary Gensler's recent interview, saying that the unelected bureaucrat, let's say that again, the unelected bureaucrat has admitted that he will not respect the court's decisions.
And so nothing any court would say would change your mind on
that? I wish something a court could say which would actually bring the compliance sooner.
And I just can't help but play this clip for you. It's a statement that came in May 2022 from the DC-based Blockchain Association CEO, Kristen Smith. At the time, she said she would not take a position on the Ripple case. Of course, she should have taken a position on the Ripple case. And with the incredible fight that Ripple, the company, has put up for the entire blockchain space, I hope she feels embarrassed.
The SEC brought an enforcement action against Ripple. And there's a lot of eyes on this. And, right, the big question is whether or not Ripple, which is one of the larger, for those who don't know, it's one of the larger cryptocurrencies, whether the sale was essentially an unregistered sale of securities. And it's looking to hold the founders personally liable as well. It's getting a lot of attention. It's supposed to go to trial in August. Do you have a view on that? I guess what it might mean for the industry? Big deal, little deal, no deal?
Yeah, no, I think we don't have a position on sort of the specifics of the case itself. Though I would say one of the things people have very mixed opinions on Ripple. I'm happy to have them as a member of the Blockchain Association.
Well, I'll say something a teeny bit more controversial, which is, just by analogy, the civil rights community selected Rosa Parks. She was like a very specific choice to be the face of that movement. I don't think the Ripple folks are the best face of this movement for the crypto. I think the atmospherics in the case, the details of the case, don't paint a flattering pictures at all times. So I think the issues at play here are significant, and I wish there weren't. I wish there was a better fact set than the one that the case presents. That's as polite as I can say it.
Now, I don't know who started this talk about Ripple abandoning XRP, but that couldn't be further from the truth. They own billions of the digital asset XRP. And according to David Schwartz, in a quote that was recorded by Status on October 18th, 2018, they use XRP as a strategic weapon. Now, one thing is for sure, they are expanding. You're going to hear that in a short clip from Naveen Gupta.
You only convert into XRP, correct?
We don't convert, so we essentially use an exchange. So for example, Bitstamp is an exchange that we would use in the UK. For example, CoinsPH is an exchange that we will use in Philippines. So these are exchanges with open order book. So we use those open order books to do the conversion.
But you only do it into XRP.
That's currently we only do it in XRP, but the technology itself is neutral. So as more cryptocurrencies evolve and they have enough liquidity pairs, then we will use many other things as well.
You're able to use,
absolutely.
And you'll be happy to. Okay.
Yeah. But what we do is when we send cross-border payments, right? So when an institution A sends cross-border payments to institution B, like today we use US dollar. So to give you an example, when GBP moves into Philippines peso, GBP gets converted to US dollar. US dollar gets converted to Philippines peso. Exactly in this case, GBP gets converted to XRP. XRP into Philippines peso, but XRP is taken from the public chain, right? But you could do exactly the same thing with GBP into Ethereum, into Philippines peso, GBP into USDC, into Philippines peso.
To become an Amazon, you have to expand, giving clients what they want, including stablecoins. I have a surprise Ripple developer interview coming up, and you're going to hear insights as to how Ripple is moving into the Ethereum ecosystem. This is expansion that's coming. What you want to know is that within the Ethereum ecosystem, MetaMask is so important. And just a couple of days ago, we learned that MetaMask now is interoperable with Bitcoin for the first time. I'm telling you, the success of this ecosystem going forward is all about interoperability. And the more it becomes interoperable, the more Swift worries about it. Here, on the 21st of September from the American Banker, we have that Swift partners with Visa and Wise to fend off fintechs in the cross-border B2B payments. And speaking of interviews, I had the founder and CEO of the company called ProprHome on the channel last night. I'm going to edit that up this evening. Ripple invested in this company. He talks about why they chose the XRP ledger to build on.
So really good question, Eri. There are a lot of blockchains out there in the market, right? And we've seen the rise of quite niche chains over the last 4 or 5 years. It was really important to us to find a chain that had a reputation for large cross-border settlements, and there's nobody else in the space that really fits the bill like XRPL. To be able to do $15 billion in cross-border settlements annually shows a track record. To have a chain with no outages in 10, 12-year history. This is hugely important to us. If we want to build a trusted brand, if we want to be able to facilitate transactions with the support of local government, we need to be playing with somebody that really understands the enterprise application of this technology.